Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Dolce di Giorno from Bois 1920. This is a really great unisex, very peppery fragrance, and I'm excited to review it for you guys because there's a lot of notes in here that I love that are kind of conflicting that I think come together really successfully. So if you'd like to know what I think, then keep watching. Now for transparency purposes, I did receive this bottle for free to review, but this is a fragrance and a house that I've had my eye on for quite some time. Dolce di Giorno is a very peppery fragrance. It's a unisex leaning scent, and there's a lot of just really fun things in this fragrance, and it's one of the scents where I talk about cold and warm and aromatics and woods. This is a great interpretation and a great example of all of the above. We have bergamot, pepper, cinnamon, cedarwood, grapefruit. There's some thyme and cardamom in there, gaiac wood, sandalwood, vetiver, vanilla, and plum, amongst a few other notes as well. This is definitely a unisex leaning fragrance, and if you do not like pepper, spicy, woody fragrance, this will not be the fragrance for you. But if you like woody aromatic fragrances that have a lot of life to them and also have some fun little fruity aspects of it, I think this is a fragrance worth checking out. Now the biggest thing to my nose in the opening is specifically the cinnamon, the cedarwood, and this really gorgeous plum note. It opens up very spicy, warm, the cedarwood's very distinctive, and the plum makes it somewhat fruity, but not in like a tutti frutti kind of way. It just adds a nice, deep fruit note that goes really nicely with the cinnamon. I think plum and cinnamon really go hand in hand and work really well together for fragrances. Now this fragrance does have a pepper in it, and it also has thyme, and I've talked about before in other videos where aromatic, specifically specific spices can mimic heat and coolness. Think of cinnamon as being spicy and warm, and cardamom, thyme, basil, coriander kind of mimic more cold. And when you have things like vanilla in woods, it kind of plays to warm or cold. Well, the cinnamon is usually a very domineering note in a scent, and you definitely get that gorgeous blast of cinnamon and pepper with this. But I like how the thyme and the cardamom have this kind of like cool moment that really works really gorgeously with the plum. This is a gorgeous, and I mean very lively scent on the skin while not being too difficult to understand or comprehend. It's not challenging, it's not intimidating, it's just a really fantastic spicy woody scent that has a little bit of fruitiness in there and some nice aromatics other than just a very predominant cinnamon note. I like how the patchouli is semi-earthy and the vetiver is very dry. Again, that works so well, especially with the bergamot and the grapefruit in the opening, which comes off as a more astringent kind of pithy-like brightness in the opening. It's just a very fun fragrance to wear, but it also smells just very sexy and attractive. This is the kind of scent that not everyone's going to wear, but it's the type of scent that's easily approachable, attractive, and not challenging to the person wearing it or to people smelling it. It just smells very approachable, very distinguished, and at the same time very sexy and attractive. Now this is a definitively smelling unisex fragrance. The plummy, fruity parts of it can kind of pull semi-fruity, and then you have these kind of spicy, peppery, woody notes that can kind of smell semi-masculine, but at the end of the day, they kind of come together and complement each other really beautifully and create something very aromatic, very woody, very spicy, and fun. It's also a little bit powdery and the dry down, just a tiny bit, just a little bit there. I probably think that would be the sandalwood more than anything else, but at the end of the day, this is just a fun, peppery, just fantastic fragrance to wear that again is very complimentary, attractive, and sexy. So if you like peppery fragrances, if you like aromatic fragrances, if you like fragrances to have a little pep in their step, but still smelling very nice, very exquisite, very sexy and attractive, I think Dolce di Giorno from Bois 1920 is fantastic. But if you don't like peppery fragrances, if more spicy, woody scents kind of intimidate you, I would probably say get a sample of this first before you check it out. But I don't find the pepper and the cinnamon and the aromatic spices in this here to be too oppressive, too strong, or too hard to understand. They just add like a little extra oomph to the scent, which I really enjoy. Now, the way that this fragrance develops on the skin is very nice. Some fragrances are very linear, some fragrances kind of tell a story. This fragrance specifically is very much one of the storytellers, but it's not a very involved story. It's more of a short story. And what I mean by that is when this is on your skin, you're getting a blast of cinnamon and cedarwood. And again, you're getting like that pithy bitter brightness from the bergamot and the grapefruit, and that makes for a really pleasant opening. The plum is in there too, and like I said, if you don't like fruity fragrances, don't be afraid of the plum in here. It adds like a fruity-like feeling to the fragrance without making it fruity. And I think plum, again, and cinnamon is such a smart choice together. It kind of gives it like a mulled spice kind of feeling. Now, after it's kind of been on your skin for, I'd say, 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to get the cardamom and the thyme. And that's when it kind of starts to tell its little story of warm and cool, dark and light, spicy, sweet, and just fruity, a little bit of vanilla in there to round it out, dry, grassy vetiver, a beautiful sandalwood that gives it a touch of powdery feeling. And then after about 2 hours, it becomes a linear fragrance. It's kind of a culmination of everything, a little less brightness, a little bit more woody spiciness, and that stays on your skin for a few hours. So you kind of get a fun little history lesson of where this fragrance been and where it's going the first few hours on your skin, and then it settles down and just kind of makes itself home and just smells really delightful. I think it's a really great fragrance. Now, projection and longevity of this fragrance on my skin, I get about 6 to 8 hours, which is good. For a spicy, woody fragrance like this, I do expect it to have very good projection, and it does. The projection is about social distancing length, so I would say about 6 feet away, people will be able to pick it up, but it's a very light, very attractive projection. It's not heavy or suffocating or the type of fragrance where people are going to like run away. They're going to enjoy it. The peppery, woody spiciness of this fragrance is quite addictive, and it's something that I really like to wear. This does have a tiny little bit of a lingering trail, not too much. This is more of a projection fragrance and less of like a sillage scent, if you know what I mean. At the end of the day, Dolce di Giorno is a great fragrance if you like unisex fragrances, you enjoy a good pepper note in your scent, you like something spicy, aromatic, woody, intoxicating, but also something approachable and easy to wear. This is definitely that scent, and I've really been enjoying it. So that is my review of Dolce di Giorno from Bois 1920. Let me know what you guys think. Have you had the opportunity to try this fragrance? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!